currently around 16 or 18, just finished school or are getting into school, most likely college or university, maybe have a job, maybe don't, and you want to get into business and make money online and make a lot of cash. You want out of this 9 to 5 story. And so your question may be, how do I make it happen? There is a streamlined way to make it happen. I am currently working through that own process that I'm going to present to you guys, and that has worked for countless others that I know personally and that I've seen grow and flourish beautifully. So the first step is you need to ask yourself this question. Why are you in school currently? Or why are you in a job and in school as well? A lot of people are very unintentional with their actions. They do what they're told to do. That's it. They listen to their parents, they listen to societal norms, and they just do without thinking. And this is horrible, guys. This is horrible. This is how the Holocaust happens. So, why are you currently in school? Are you in school because your parents have told you so? Okay, that's cool. Why did you listen to them? Because you want a degree? Okay, what's a degree? A degree allows you to get into a job. I won't get into the logistics of how unlikely it is for you to find a job easily. But ideally, it gets you a job. A job means security because you get an income every single month, and maybe you get a retirement plan, so on and so forth. So basically, you're in school because you want money. Okay, that's cool. How much money do you want? What kind of life do you want to lead? Where do you want to live? What car do you want to drive? How many kids do you want to have? What does your wife look like? How much do you need to spend on her? Do you want her retired or working? Okay, after you've asked all of these questions and some more, you can start answering them and figuring out how much money you actually need. And ideally putting not a time limit, but an ideal point at which you would like to have these resources. And so what you're going to do from there is look at your degree, go on Google, look up what your degree earns on the first year, on the second year, on the fifth year. How long is going to, first of all, how long is it going to take you for you to get that degree? And the point I'm trying to get to here is that most likely, your degree won't get you to the goals that you're looking for, which is why you're watching this video. You know that school and a simple job won't suffice. And so here comes the question that's really going to hurt, because you're going to have to take a decision that's different than normal. And you're going to have to ask yourself, am I really making the right decision here? Is it smart for me to sacrifice 4 years of focused work where I'm learning outdated education content from teachers that have no expertise in what they're really teaching, and potentially getting myself into relationships with women and other boys, because I'm addressing men here, that may have the potential of ruining my life for reasons I won't get into? Drugs, alcohol, so on and so forth, partying, waste of time. Is it worth for my parents to fund my business, to fund my education, or for me to get into debt personally that will haunt me for the next decade at least, for up to 6 figures? All these questions, start answering them and write the answer on a piece of paper so that it's tangible, you can actually see it and reflect on it. And at that point, there should be very little doubt that it makes more sense for you to not continue school. That's if you're really serious about your goals. If you're not serious about your goals and you couldn't care less if you don't meet them, I strongly advise you to remain in school, because it's a tough world out there if you don't follow the societal norms and if you don't follow the normal course of actions. So yeah, ask yourself this question. Figure out, are you serious? Do you think it's doable? Like this number that you just came up with after all your calculations. Is this doable? Is this something I believe I can do? Or is this something that I would never be able to do? So on and so forth. If the latter, I wish you the best of luck, and please continue your course of action. Continue going to school and continue whatever your parents had in mind for you. On the other side, if you've decided that this is a path that you actually want to take, that this is something you want to dedicate your life to, you may, I may advise you to do the right choice. Leave school, leave the idea of the security of a job. Save your next 4 to 5 years. Get into any job. First thing this week, find a job. Anything. Even if it sucks, if you don't like it, if you're not qualified, if you're overqualified, it doesn't matter. Get into a job, start earning money as soon as possible. Okay, you just accept the first offer. That's what I'm trying to say. Accept the first offer, get into that job, start earning cash right now. Okay? In the meanwhile, continue looking for jobs where you have a higher wage, and eventually just get into better jobs. This process shouldn't take you more than like 2 weeks, 3 weeks at most. Okay? If you want to accelerate the process, just print a bunch of CVs, go shave, go get a haircut, dress nicely, go out and apply to jobs in person. Okay? You're gonna find a job in less than a week if you do this. Point is, why do you need to do that? You need to do that because you need to collect cash. You need cash flow, not only to fund yourself, because the fact that you leave school may actually entice your parents to kick you the frick out of the house, or to stop supporting you financially or even morally, emotionally, so on and so forth. So you're gonna have to become your own man, become independent. For that, you need cash flow. I'm not saying you should leave your house right away. If your parents are cool with it, that's amazing. But you need cash flow, because if you want to run a business, you're gonna need cash flow. You're gonna make a lot of mistakes. These mistakes, actually lessons, but software and so on. There are obviously costs to doing business. And here's the thing with the job: you want to find the balance between a job that pays you well, that most definitely needs to cover your basic expenses, okay? But it cannot deplete you of all your energy and time. Ideally, this is a part-time job, a full-time job, but like I said, it cannot deplete you of your energy. Ideally, if you can get into a job where you know the owner, so that he may be flexible with your schedule, so on and so forth, that would be great. Once you get into a job, start stacking the money, okay? Start stacking the money, choose your niche, obviously, blah, blah. I'm going to get into another video how to figure out what you want to do really in business and so on. But get a job, get the cash flow in, okay? And by the way, if any of you guys are actually serious, which would make me very happy, and actually follow what I teach you guys, because this is not BS that I take out from like the air or from some book that I read. I actually went through these very specific steps myself. And like I mentioned at the beginning of the video, other successful men, just like me and you, who bleed just like I do, who breathe just like me and you do, have followed these steps successfully and have actually, are making more than their parents are doing combined on a monthly basis. So the next step, actually what I wanted to say is that if you guys take these steps and find difficulty, I will put my Instagram downstairs in the description. If you have any question, please reach out to me. Send me a voice note or a text message. Send me a message describing what you're struggling with, and I'll do my best to help you out, okay? So this is for the most serious watchers, which I hope is all of you guys. So eventually, you need to get into sales. And the idea with sales is that it'll teach you how to kill what you eat, okay? It's not necessarily about learning how to sell. Obviously, that's a big point, okay? But it's really important for you to learn how to kill your own fish, because that's what's business about. And second most important point is that you need to learn sales to run any kind of business. Even if you do e-com, for example, you need how to sell through your words. If you're a comedian, you also need to sell through your words. So do sales. You're gonna start, on commission only basis. I don't recommend you to do sales by itself alone when you're starting out, because like I said, you need cash flow. And if you're working on commission only basis and you suck because you're just starting out, you're not gonna make any cash. So this is a stupid decision. Worst case, I would tell you, get a job part-time, like a 9 to 5 job, like fast food or anything like I did. Get your cash in, And on the other part time that you have, do a sales job because you're going to be commission only, and it's going to balance out. You're earning cash here, and on the other side, you're learning this super valuable skill. You know, the longer you do it, obviously you're probably going to hate it because you're going to get a lot of rejection. You need to read books. You need to educate yourself on the matter, and you know, there's a lot of resources I can share that would make this video way too long, but the step that you need to take is just taking the first step. I don't need to tell you the whole book, okay? I don't need to read you the whole book. You just need to open the book, read the first page. That's what you need to do right now, okay? So get into sales. I won't tell you for how long you need to do it. Just do it. Start doing it. Message me on Instagram. Let me know how it's going, and we'll keep contact from there, by the way. So, yeah, we're going to use your cash flow to fund your business and meet other like-minded people. Ideally, joining an online network where you can meet, you know, like I said, other people that are ambitious and want to strive for big goals and are working towards it just like you are. You're going to find it very difficult if you are not surrounded by the right people to stay, you know, in a healthy mindset, especially if your family, for example, is not supportive or people around you do not understand what you're going through or what you're trying to achieve, which is most likely the case because you're doing something that 99% of people are not doing. Hence, 99% of people won't probably understand you. So build relationships with young killers. On your spare time, you're not going to party and go to clubs. You're going to spend time with these guys, going to a restaurant, talking business, getting to know each other. Hey, what do you do? Okay, that's cool, man. I do this, and I actually used to know someone that did this, so on and so forth. Build a relationship, pick up friends with other business owners. This is probably the best investment you can do at your early ages, because from these relationships that you kindle, opportunities may arise out of the blue, and this is something that's very good for a young entrepreneur, where you're very, you know, you're in a very risky position because you got no degree. And I'm not saying that degrees are safe, but you're often going to be told that a degree is a safety net, and this may, you know, perpetuate your mindset and make you believe that at some point you're in a very dangerous, you know, situation that you have put yourself. But you need to understand that this whole paradigm of people waking up one day, going to school for a decade or two, and then getting the degree, and then getting a steady job, and then struggling to pay the bills all their lives, and in a very constrained way, almost not being able to pay the bills every month because you're living on a paycheck-to-paycheck basis, and then dying at 60 with not much to your name or to offer your legacy. Maybe you have a son or two or some children, but other than that, you've done nothing productive for yourself. You've lived for others and not for yourself. And so basically, you've got billions of people that are following this process where they just, like the Germans, are doing things that they're told to do without taking a step back and thinking to themselves, what the hell am I doing and why the hell am I doing it? Okay? And when you're able to take that step back and realize that this is really a maze where unfortunately there's no prize at the end and people are, you know, literally sacrificing their only life that they have for a prize that doesn't exist, you'll start to understand how insane most people are and how sane you actually are for taking the right steps. So this is a little parentheses, but it's good that it came out. And yeah, from there, like I said, you build relationships with killers, right? I want you to build. You got a business that's running. Maybe it's not going so well. That's cool. You're building and you're going to iterate, which means that you're going to fail. You're going to learn from these failures. You're going to make sure not to repeat them, and you're going to advance. Okay? And in the meanwhile, make sure to always educate yourself. You should allocate a daily, regularly, some part of your day to learning something new. Charlie Munger once said that, I don't remember the exact quote, but basically presses on the importance of going to sleep having learned something new. Charlie Munger is one of the most successful investors of all time, alongside with Warren Buffett. And yeah, education can be found through books, courses. Udemy is a very good platform. Joining networks, joining online community, buying mentorships one-on-one. This is some of the things that you can do to accelerate your success and enrich your mind, thoughts, beliefs, hence your actions, which all stems from beliefs. So, I thank you for your time. I'll see you in the next one.